My dear students, welcome back to my new class. This is Mahbooba Sultan Akhi, Senior Lecturer of Milestone College, Department of Biology. Today I will discuss Chapter 6. The name of this chapter is Transport in Organisms. From my today's lecture, you will be able to explain what is blood, component of blood, blood group, and the differences between artery and vein. Blood. Blood is viscous, slightly alkaline and salty fluid which helps in transportation of oxygen, carbon dioxide and nutrients throughout the whole body. Now, the components of blood. Blood has mainly two components. Blood has plasma and blood corpuscle. Plasma. The colorless fluid part of blood constitutes about 55% of whole blood is called plasma. The main components of plasma is water, a small amount of protein, organic substance and a small portion of inorganic salts are dissolved in it. Now, blood corpuscles. The blood has mainly three types of cells or blood corpuscles. Red blood corpuscles or erythrocyte, white blood corpuscles or leukocyte, platelets or thrombocytes. Now, red blood corpuscles. The red blood corpuscles are non-nucleated and appears mostly like circular disc or circles. These are biconcave disc-like in structure. These are red in color due to the presence of a chemical pigment named hemoglobin. Now, white blood corpuscles. White blood corpuscles is colorless but it contains nucleus. According to the structure and presence of granules in the cytoplasm, white blood corpuscles can be divided or are of two types: agranulocyte and granulocyte. Agranulocyte. The cytoplasm of white blood cells which are without granules and transparent are known as agranulocyte. Agranulocyte is of two types: lymphocyte and monocyte. Lymphocytes are small cells with large nuclei and monocytes are large cells with small nuclei. Lymphocytes kill the germs that enter the body by creating antibodies and thus increasing immunity power. On the other hand, monocyte. Monocytes kill the germs by the process of phagocytosis. Now, granulocytes. What is granulocyte? Granulocytes have the cytoplasm which are slightly stained granules. According to the size of nucleus, granulocytes are of three types: neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil. Neutrophil. Neutrophil kill the germs by the process of phagocytosis. Eosinophil and basophil. These two prevents allergy in the body by secreting a chemical named histamine. Basophil secretes heparin and inhibits blood clot formation inside the blood vessel. Now, platelets. Platelets are small in size, colorless and spindle shaped. The function of platelets, it does not contain if the body does not contain right amount of platelets, blood does not clot easily. This may lead the patient to a life-threatening situation. So these all are the components of blood. Red blood corpuscles. The characteristics of red blood corpuscles are Red blood corpuscles is non-nucleated and appears mostly like circles and biconcave disc. Red blood cells are formed in bone marrow. There are approximately 5 billion red blood corpuscles present per cubic milliliter of blood in an adult male, which is less in female but higher in infants. Their average viability is 120 days. Now the function of red blood corpuscle. The red blood corpuscles transport oxygen as oxyhemoglobin and carbon dioxide as bicarbonate. The white blood corpuscles. The characteristics of white blood corpuscles are: white blood corpuscles are irregular in shape, colorless, and contain a nucleus. White blood cells are produced in bone marrow, red bone marrow, and lymphatic glands. There are 4 to 10,000 white blood cells present in per cubic milliliter of blood. Their average viability is 1 to 15 days. Now, the function of white blood cells. White blood corpuscles can change shape and kill the germs by the process of phagocytosis. Platelets. The characteristics of platelets. Platelets are small in size, colorless, spindle-shaped, and non-nucleated. Next, these are formed. It is thought that the platelets are formed by fragments of large cells from the bone marrow. There are approximately 2.5 million platelets per cubic milliliter of blood. Their average viability is 5 to 10 days. Now the function of platelets. It helps in blood clotting. My dear students, you frequently hear that for a dying or a critical person, blood is necessary. These types of advertisement is frequently seen on television. So, what is blood group? Blood group, the blood is classified on different groups depending on the presence of antigen and antibody, which is called blood group. Now, what is antigen and antibody? Antigen is a type of protein that is found in red blood corpuscles. So, what about antibody? To prevent antigen, our blood produces a substance which is called antibody. Carl Landsteiner classified blood group into 4 groups: A, B, AB, and O. Now, how this blood is classified? This blood group is classified on the presence of and absence of antigen and antibody. Blood group A. The people of blood group A, they have antigen A in the red blood cell, but they have antibody B. The people of blood group B, they have antigen B, but they have the antibody A, which is present in their plasma. The people of blood group AB, they have both the antigen A and antigen B, but they don't have any antibodies. In case of people of blood group O, they don't have any types of antigen in the red blood cell, but they have antibodies A and B. You found that the people of blood group A, they don't have antibodies A, because if they had antibody A, this antigen and antibody will react with each other, which will create a critical situation that may lead a person to die. My dear students, you have already known that what is blood group. Now, I am describing the compatibility table of blood group, through which you can know or you can understand how a person or who can receive or donate blood to which blood groups, or any person can donate or receive the bloods from blood from which blood groups. Okay. You have noticed one thing, that is, I have written here negative, positive, negative, positive. What does it mean? It means that there is a factor, that means an antigen present in the blood, which is known as rhesus factor. If this factor is present in any blood, that is called positive, and if it is remain absent in any blood group, that is called negative blood group. For example, O negative means this antigen is absent, that is the rhesus factor is absent in this blood group. O positive means in this blood group this rhesus factor is present. Now from this table you will understand it about AB positive blood group. The people of AB positive blood group, they can receive, these are the recipient and these are the donors. So the AB positive blood group, people of AB blood group, they can receive blood O negative, O positive, B negative, B positive, A negative, A positive, AB negative and AB positive. That means the people of blood group AB positive, they can receive blood from all the blood groups or people of all blood groups. So what about AB negative? AB negative, the people of AB negative blood group, they can also receive blood from the people of different blood groups, but you can follow one thing, that the people of negative blood group can receive the blood group from the negative persons. That means negative blood grouping persons, that is O negative, B negative, A negative and AB negative. They can receive blood from the people of positive blood group. In case of A positive, they can receive blood from A negative, O positive, A negative and A positive. People of A blood group can't receive from the blood of B positive or negative, AB positive or negative, because they have B antibodies, and in case of B positive, they have antigen B, they have antibody B, so it can react, so they can't receive blood from these blood groups. Okay. Now A negative, people of A negative blood group, they can receive blood from O negative and A negative only, because the people of A and B negative blood groups, they can receive their own blood groups. Now the people of B positive, the people of B positive blood can receive the blood from O negative, O positive, B negative, B positive. Now what about the people of B negative? As I have told you that the people of negative blood group, they can receive only from the negative blood, people who have negative blood group. That means B negative, the people of B negative blood group can receive from O negative blood group and blood from B negative blood group only. So what about the O positive? They can receive their blood groups from O negative as well as from O positive. They can't receive blood from any other except these two. Now what about O negative? O negative can receive blood from only from O negative. As I have mentioned earlier that negative blood group can't receive blood from the positive one. That's why O negative blood group only receive the blood from O negative. Here you have found one. The people of blood group AB positive can receive the blood from O negative, O positive, B negative, B positive, A negative, A positive, AB negative and AB positive. It is found that the people of AB blood group can receive the blood from the people of all blood groups. Okay, that is why AB, the people of blood group AB is known as universal recipient. On the other hand, the people of blood group O negative, they can donate the blood to the people of AB positive, AB negative, A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, O positive and O negative. That means they can donate the people of all blood group the blood. So the people of blood group O are known as universal donor. So the definition of universal donor and universal recipient will be, in case of universal donor, the people of the blood group who can donate blood to the people of other blood groups or all blood groups is known as universal donor. In case of universal recipient, the people of the blood group who can receive the blood from the blood group of all people is known as universal recipient. In this case, we can say that AB is universal recipient and the people of blood group O is universal donor. Okay? My dear students, now the topic is artery and vein. There are different types of blood vessels. The blood vessels are the channels through which the mass flow of blood occurs is known as blood vessels. Generally, artery, vein and capillaries are the blood vessels. Artery. What is artery? The blood vessels that carries blood from the heart to different parts of the body are known as artery. Now what is vein? The blood vessels that carries blood from body to the heart is known as vein. Now the nature of blood. Generally, artery carries oxygenated blood from heart to different parts of the bodies except the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs. So what about the vein? Vein carries deoxygenated blood. That means carbon dioxide enriched blood. This carbon dioxide enriched blood is carried by the vein from different parts of the body towards the heart. Now, the structure of artery and vein. Both of these artery and vein are surrounded by three layers, consist of three layers. The outermost layer is tunica externa, the middle layer is known as tunica media, and the innermost layer is known as tunica interna. But the wall of the artery are thick and the walls of the vein are thin. In case of artery, they have hence the wall is thick. That is why the passage or lumen through which the blood flows is narrow, and in case of vein, the passage through which the blood circulates or flows, hence the wall is thin. That is why the passage is wider. Moreover, in case of vein, they have valve. In case of artery, there is no valves. So we can write down the differences between artery and vein regarding these topics or characteristics. Characteristics. Origin and ending. Artery originated from the heart, which ends to the capillaries, and vein originated from the capillaries, which ends to heart. Direction of blood flow. The artery carries blood from heart to the body, but in case of vein, they carries blood from body to the heart. Nature of the blood. Generally, artery carries oxygenated blood, vein carries deoxygenated blood. I've told you that there is an exception, that is pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Wall. The wall of the artery is thick and elastic. The wall of the vein is thin and less elastic. Lumen. Lumen means these passes. In case of artery, it is narrow. In case of vein, it is wider. Valve. Valve is absent in artery and is present in vein. Now location. artery generally found at depth of the muscle, and in case of vein, generally these are found just beneath the skin. So from today's lesson, you can easily explain the difference between artery and veins, the characteristics of artery, the characteristics of veins. Moreover, you can also explain the blood group and what is blood, the components of blood. So this all from today's topic. In the next time, I will be back with a new lesson. Till then, take care.